What's going on, y'all? It's Cone back here again today with another video, and today we're talking men's Olympic hoops. All four quarterfinal games for the men's bracket were today, and there was some great basketball. We saw two massive comebacks, one of which was the biggest comeback in the history of Olympic basketball. We saw another game that was super back and forth with some crazy performances, and then Team USA kind of flexed their muscles like they've been doing for pretty much this entire tournament so far. So I want to get into these games, talk about all four of them. I'm going to reiterate what I said in my other two Olympic videos. Probably won't be any highlights or very minimal in this video because the Olympic Committee does not play around. They've given copyright strikes out like it's candy on Halloween as of late to basically any content creator that uses their clips. So probably won't be any highlights, just letting you know, but I'll try and paint the picture as vividly as I can. And as always, leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Going to continue to cover the Olympics all the way through. So let's start with Serbia versus Australia. This was the best game of the day. This was the one that featured the all-time comeback because Australia was dominant in this game. They won the first quarter 31-17, almost doubling up the Serbian squad that just won silver in the FIBA World Cup and added Nikola Jokic. So Australia is making a big statement, and a lot of that was Josh Giddey, who continued to play really well here at the Olympics. 25 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists today. Did have 7 turnovers, but was shooting well, 3 of 5 from deep, which is big for him, as well as Patty Mills, who always is a demon in FIBA play. 26 points, 3 rebounds with a couple of steals. He finished over 50% shooting as well, including a big shot later in the game to get this game to overtime because while Australia was up huge, Serbia stormed back. Jokic, unbelievable. He's the best player in the world. Put it on display. 21 points, 14 rebounds, 8 assists, and 4 steals on over 50% shooting. Filip Petrusev had 9 points. You saw 17 from Bogdan Bogdanovic. Multiple other double-digit scores like Micic had 14 points and 6 dimes. Everybody was contributing. On Serbia, they started to knock down some more and more shots, and all of a sudden, Australia's lead vanished. At one point, they were up 24 points, and then Australia needed a prayer from Patty Mills at the buzzer, a fadeaway jumper, I believe it was over Jokic in the mid-range, to even get them to overtime in the first place. So they managed to force that, but then once you get to overtime, Jokic just puts on a continued display, including a big Sombor shuffle dagger in the mid-range towards the end of this one. Australia has a chance, but they're not able to capitalize, and in the end, Serbia completes the comeback 95-90, coming back from down 24, which is the biggest comeback in the history of the Olympic Games. So shout out to them. It's cool to see them go ahead and advance here. Happy to see more Jokic hoops as always. And again, this is a team that just won silver in the World Cup tournament last season despite Jokic not playing. So I'm really not surprised at all that they're moving on to the next round. As for Australia, like I mentioned, it was mostly Giddey and Patty Mills. McVeigh had 13 points. Dante Exum had 12 points. But they just really had no answer for Nikola Jokic. Jacques Landale's really not going to do that much. And they just don't have enough consistent offense, really. They shot pretty well, like 50% from the field, 40.9% from deep, but the turnovers were a massive problem, 21 giveaways. And yeah, Australia ends up falling short, finished 1-3 in the tournament. And a big blow to them is that Patty Mills announced his retirement from Team Australia. He's been a massive factor for them all throughout his career playing internationally. So congrats to him on a great career with Australia. But yeah, they're really going to miss that punch. But it's a growing basketball nation. They've been getting better and better over time. And this feels like it's just the beginning. As for Serbia, they move on to face their next opponent, who, the spoiler, is Team USA. We'll talk about their game last because it was a blowout. But first, let's talk about the other two closer games, including France versus Canada. I've made it no secret. I've been a Team Canada fan throughout this summer because they've got Shai, they've got Lou Dort. I'm a diehard Thunder fan, so of course, I'm going to push heavily for them. And this was not the most fun game to watch in the world. It was ugly. First of all, officiating was bad. I've went on Twitter and put on record that I don't think the FIBA officials are like this God's gift to basketball like some people think. They make mistakes, like all referees do. They're not bad, but it's kind of the same thing, I feel like, with the NBA a lot of times. And you could see that in this game. The free throws were all over the place. France finished with, I think it was 42 free throws, either 40 or 42. They had 25 free throws in the first half alone. It was crazy. They almost doubled up on Team Canada at one point. They were up by triple at one point. Like, It was rough. I'm not saying it was like way officiated in favor of France, although I do think they had a little bit more of a beneficial whistle. But a lot of it was also just that France has a bunch of size with Wemby, of course, out there. Usually Gobert, but he only played 3 minutes in this game. Apparently he had a finger injury coming into this one, so they didn't want to play him too much, but also they just didn't love the matchup. They wanted more of guys out there on the perimeter that could knock down shots, and that worked because France was really making Team Canada pay, whether it was a number of EuroLeague guys. Really, their NBA guys didn't do that much. Like, Victor Wembanyama had 3 steals, had a block, but only finished with 7 points, 2 of 10 shooting, was actually not the biggest Wemby game. As for other guys, like Evan Fournier had 15 points, including a crazy shot towards the end of the game that looked very reminiscent of the Dame shot, to be honest, from a Thunder's fan perspective. But really, it was the EuroLeague guys, whether it was Courtier, I hope I pronounced that correctly. As usual, if I get any names wrong, please let me know. 20 points, 4 or 5 from deep. He was going crazy, especially early on. Yabusele, who played for the Celtics a few years back, 22 points. He was an unstoppable force down low and hit a couple of threes. You also had Lasor, who had 13 points. He got 14 free throw attempts because he was unbelievable on the offensive glass. He just kept being aggressive, and Canada really didn't have much of an answer. Their big man play is extremely weak. They are pretty guard heavy, but even with the guard play, that was a big problem throughout this tournament too, because they do end up losing 73-82. They're eliminated, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander went crazy. He was easily their best player, not even really close in this tournament. 27 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, was just under 50% shooting, would have been at that if not for a heave at the end of the game. 8 of 11 from the free throw line. Shai was unbelievable. He was single-handedly keeping Canada in this game for the most part. He had one moment where he won on a solo 11-point streak for Canada where they really needed it. But outside of him, it was like RJ Barrett, who did turn up towards the end, but they needed a little bit more early. But overall, RJ was really good on the tournament, so nothing against him. 13 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Excited to see what he can do for the Raptors this season. Like Lou Dort had 8 points on 50% shooting. But then Dillon Brooks, 1 for 9, including, with about 2 minutes left in the game, the Team Canada got an offensive rebound. I believe they were down 5 at that point. Shai runs around to try and get the ball back. The shot clock reset to 24. Dillon Brooks brought it out and then decided to back down and shoot a turnaround fadeaway jumper over Victor Wembanyama. And that went about as well as you would imagine, in that he got completely destroyed on a block. You can't shoot a turnaround fadeaway over Wemby. What are you doing? And that was a number of times where Dillon Brooks, I felt like, just got way too tunnel visioned in this game. Jamal Murray finished 3 of 13 from the floor with 3 turnovers as well. He was abysmal, shot like 19% or something like that from 3. I don't remember the exact numbers. It was really bad. He averaged, I think, around like 6 to 9 points in this tournament. Just couldn't really put it together, turning the ball over a lot. He's now looked pretty rough ever since we go back to like the Nuggets playoff run. I think he'll be fine. Ultimately, maybe that injury that was lingering towards the end of the season is still bothering him. But yeah, Canada needed a lot more from Jamal Murray. They need better big man play. Zach Edey will be hopefully there for the 2028 Olympics and the 2027 World Cup, so I think that would be big for them. But Dwight Powell and Kelly Olynyk are not going to get it done for you. Same thing with like Kem Birch and Trey Lyles. When you're going up against like the Nikola Jokic's, or if they had ended up playing Team USA, those guys would have been guarding Joel Embiid and Bam Adebayo and Anthony Davis. So that is definitely something they need. But yeah, Canada just needed a lot more from their other guys like Jamal Murray specifically. Also, Andrew Nembhard played 15 minutes and didn't shoot once. He just didn't seem to be looking for a shot. And he's been big in basically every other Team Canada game, but wasn't really here in this one. I felt like their offense was just all out of whack in this game. Also turned the ball over 14 times. For France, like I said, it was most of the EuroLeague guys. Wemby was insane defensively, but offensively, those guys were stepping up in a big way, and they do end up advancing 82-73. They were leading by a wide margin for a majority of this game. Canada kept bringing it back to like 5 or 6, but could never get it quite too close in the end. And they move on now to face the winner of Germany versus Greece, which is the next game I want to talk about. Germany won. This is not a surprise. Germany is the reigning World Cup champions. Greece ends up going 1-3 in the tournament. Germany is still undefeated. And it was the usual suspects. Franz Wagner, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, over or right under 50% shooting, 8 of 17. You had Dennis Schroder, 13 points, 8 dimes. Isaac Bongo is 3 of 6 rather from 3. 3 of 3 from Mo Wagner is the guy I meant to say shot perfectly. The usual suspects, nothing new for Germany. They are just a great defensive team. They have a bunch of great players, NBA talent, international talent. There's a reason they're the reigning World Cup champions. As for Greece, it was once again a state of Giannis is doing a lot, but not a lot of other players are contributing. He finished with 22 points, 2 rebounds, 3 assists. kind of it. Like Papa Nicolau had 2 of 5 from deep. He was contributing a little bit. Walkup was 2 of 5 from the outside. So a couple of guys were knocking down some threes, but off the bench, only 8 bench points in total. Greece just is still kind of on the come up. Like, they've got a top 5 player in the world in Giannis. I would say top 3 player in the world, but outside of him, it's just a little bit rough at the moment for them. They were also up decently big in this game. I don't remember what the exact margin of comeback was, but this is the other comeback I talked about in the intro, where Germany was down by a pretty substantial double-digit margin. In the first quarter, Greece won by 10 points, and then just the rest of the way, it was Germany, and they move on now to face France. That's going to be an incredible game between those two teams. I'm really excited to see that one. And the winner will play the winner of Serbia and the United States. Like I said, the U.S. won in a blowout. Nobody's surprised here. They destroyed Brazil 122-87. Almost a 40-point win for the U.S. Like, Brazil fought back a little bit in this game in the first quarter. They won by a decent margin. In the third quarter, really, is where Brazil brought it back a little bit. I think they got it within single digits. And then the U.S. just put their foot on the gas in the end. And it was everybody. Anthony Edwards puts up 17 points. I believe at this point he's leading the U.S. in scoring throughout the tournament, which is pretty cool. He did say before the tournament that he's the one option, so I guess he kind of predicted that. Devin Booker, 18 points, continues to be one of the best players for this team, a great complimentary guy alongside these stars. 12 points, 9 dimes for LeBron James. Embiid had 14 points, 7 rebounds, was almost perfect from the field. Best game easily for him so far. Like, Steph Curry was 2 of 3 from the field, 4 of 7 for Drew Holiday. They shot 60%. Everybody played well. Anthony Davis and Kevin Durant and Bam Adebayo. Nobody was really that bad in this game. Like, Tatum was 1 for 5 from the field, but that doesn't matter when you win by almost 40 points. So they just continue to steamroll teams. I'm excited to see them face off against Serbia. It'll be Joel Embiid versus Nikola Jokic, which is a fun narrative there, but I do expect the United States to kind of cakewalk their way to that appearance in the finals, or at least I would expect to, despite having some kind of slow second quarters. I feel like the second quarter has been kind of rough for them at times. I mean, they did win this one 30-15, but for the start of it, they were a little bit slow there, kind of getting going. As for Brazil, Bruno Caboclo was great in this tournament, 30 points in this game, 6 rebounds. I believe that's back-to-back 30 pieces for him, and it wasn't like he shot 50 shots and, you know, was 10 of 50 or something like that. He was 13 of 20 from the field. Like, he was efficient. He was playing really well. Maybe Bruno come back to the NBA. I'd love to see it. Marcelo Huertas, 9 points, 5 assists, 4 of 10 from the field. Shout out to, I believe, the 41-year-old. Yeah, that was it for the most part. Diaz had 8 points. Brazil ends up falling to just a juggernaut United States team. There's really not much I think anybody's going to be able to do against them. Although I do think Germany and France are decent enough threats. Like, that side of the bracket definitely has a lot more power than this side, which makes sense. The U.S. was by far the 1 seed. And yeah, that's going to recap of these quarterfinals. So go ahead and recap. The United States is going to be playing Serbia coming up. France will be playing Germany. The loser of those 2 games will play in the bronze, or just the bronze medal game, rather. The silver medal goes to the loser, of course, the championship. If I had to make a prediction, I'm going to say it's going to be the U.S. versus Germany. Germany's just been ridiculous so far. So that's going to be my prediction for who faces off in the finals. But let me know down below what you thought about this. Do you think anybody, France or Germany, I guess they're the only ones at this point, or I guess Serbia could take them out in the semifinals, but can any of the remaining teams knock off Team USA? Is it just inevitable that they go ahead and win this whole thing? Who's impressed you the most throughout the tournament, or who did if it's for an eliminated team? But yeah, for the moment, appreciate y'all watching. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I will see you all later. Ray One, say it back.